Okay, all right, I think I got it. Is it recording? Okay, don't make any noise, don't touch the camera, don't do anything. I really need this role. All the auditions are drying up, and I'm not filling a lot of stuff. Hello, producers of and casting director of Disney's updated urban version of Midsummer Night's Dream with a brand new cast that's all colored for the very first time in Disney history. My name is Chad White, and I am auditioning for the role of Puck in this storied adaptation of Shakespeare's beloved play. I am going to play him kind of a little bit deviously. I think that's a great take on the character. Also, I'm not off script because I literally just got this audition 20 minutes ago. Okay, so here we go. Don't mind that. I'm not sick. I am that merry wanderer of the night. I jest to Oberon and make him smile when I, a fat and bean-fed horse beguile, neighing in the likeness of a filly foal, and sometimes I lurk in a gossip's bowl in very likeness of a roasted crab, and when she drinks against her lips I bob, and on her withered dewlap pour the ale. The wisest sont, telling the saddest tale, sometime for 3-foot stool mistaketh me, then I slip from her bum, down topples she, and Taylor cries, and falls into a cough, and then the whole choir hold their hips and laugh, and waxen in their mirth and knees and swear a merrier hour was never wasted there. That's my audition. You can see my reel over on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Chad6969sex. I made that when I was very young, when I was about 27 years old. I hope you enjoyed my audition. No lights, bad mic audio quality. That's just how these self-tape auditions go. Okay, all right. I think I did a pretty good job. Oh, God.
It's news time. Delivering to you the news you didn't know about, the news you didn't care about, and the news you didn't know you cared about. With host, Chad White. Now, here's that host, Chad White.
Okay, well, maybe if I refresh it. Okay. Refresh it again. God dang it. Welcome back to News Time. I'm your host, Chad White. This is the mid-season news you know about. Listen, I am just waiting to hear back from Disney about this new remake of Midsummer Night's Dream that takes place in an urban setting with an urban cast. I think I got it. I think I did pretty well. I mean, no one's going to see this audition except for the producers and casting director that I sent it to. So, yeah, I think I got this in the bag. But listen, while I wait, why don't we talk about mid-season TV shows, mid-season replacements, mid-season premieres? I got a whole slew of being in the mid-season for you today. Okay. The mid-season is what happens in between the end of a television season and the beginning of a television season. Typically, the ending comes second and the beginning comes first, but I decided to do it the other way. A mid-season replacement is a show that premieres in the second half of the traditional television season. So it basically premieres in January, in the February time frame, until the March is when a show, usually in recent memory, has been coming back. Actually, they used to air all the time. Like Gilligan's Island that show has like 30 some odd episodes per season, but now they obviously don't do that anymore. So usually between January and May, that's a mid-season. So they usually take place after a show that was on the fall schedule was either canceled or they're just putting it on hiatus due to other factors such as an actor, contracts, or what have you, just whatever. Hiatus can happen for any reason. So mid-season shows don't typically get the full season of a network support, they usually get somewhere between 8 to 16 episodes. And 16 sounds like it's a full season, and it kind of is, but, whatever. So I thought that we would cover, with this being the mid-season and us taking it nice and easy, I thought we would cover some shows that premiered in the mid-season, with either taking the place of a show that was canceled or a show that ended in the fall, and picking up right where it left off in that same time slot. So popular shows include Third Rock from the Sun, which replaced News Radio on January of 1996, and obviously News Radio is an important and big popular show itself. And then Third Rock from the Sun came in that time slot and just lasted just as long, if anything. Then you have shows like AP Bio that would eventually transition over to the streaming service Peacock, but that premiered in place of Good Place in February 2018, and I believe at that point Good Place was in its first or second season, and it was a short show itself, so it made sense to have another short show replace it. And then you have a show like Alex Inc., which replaced Speechless in the mid-season of March 28th, 2018. And that show, Alex Inc., was canceled, while Speechless at least got to live out a full life, I think like 3 or 4 years. Shows that also weren't as popular, just like Alex Inc., eventually became cult shows like Andy Richter Controls the Universe, which replaced That 70s Show on Fox in March 19th of 2002. Of course, you've got popular shows like Bob's Burgers that came in for the first time in January 2011, replacing The Cleveland Show. Interesting enough, that's Bob's first season on January 9th, 2011, and in that fall, it will return for a second season. And the first season is the shortest one, and obviously it takes a long time for cartoons to produce seasons, so they had to have known about the second season way ahead in advance, because it's just tough like that. And then you have a lot of this list is shows that just don't, that you would not even know existed, and then but a lot of them are shows that were super popular, like the show Champions. Like, no one's thinking of that show. It was a Mindy Kaling produced show from 2018 that replaced Good News on NBC, and quite frankly, it was not a good show, and it stunk. But it was a mid-season replacement, and they took a chance on it. But then you have shows like Coach and Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman that seemingly just live in the zeitgeist. Not currently, obviously. No one's going around talking about Coach or Dr. Quinn, but people know those shows if you're a fan of television. Ellen as well, Family Guy. Family Guy replaced the X-Files, oddly enough, and then Fox would cancel it, and then it would take years for it to come back. Futurama also replaced That 70s Show, and it seems that Futurama had outstayed its welcome on Fox as well, because that was canceled. Fox is really good at canceling shows. I hope never mind. Shows like Human Target and The Incredible Hulk, both of those are superhero shows, and both on network syndication and everything, and not even syndication, but network airing on networks, and were able to live. Human Target not very long enough, but The Incredible Hulk would go on to be kind of a very popular show as well. King of the Hill, LA to Vegas, which I'm sure people are longing for another season of LA to Vegas as much as they are King of the Hill. Laverne and Shirley, and then shows like Living Biblically, which I referenced on the Bubba Watch episode from May of 2021, which is a good episode, which kind of ties into the mid-season replacements, because a show that's on the bubble is typically the one that is going to get replaced on the long run. If it doesn't, if the bubble pops with that show just goes off the other side and gets canceled or put on hiatus, then that show is going to get replaced with a mid-season replacement. And this all pertains to the broadcast side of things. Cable and streaming have their own deals. There's really not a mid-season for those, but if you're ABC, Fox, NBC, CBS, or even the CW, then you should have a couple of mid-season replacements to throw into your schedule whenever there's a show on prime time that you don't think is going to do very hot, or that a show goes on hiatus. Being in the mid-season is not a bad thing. Shows will go on and flourish as we've discussed before. But it's tough for a show to like if they don't have a lot of confidence in that show and it doesn't do well, then it'll probably get canceled. But if you're a show like Parks and Rec and there's a big promise to that, then you're going to go on and live a life that is that's full. I mean, Parks and Rec was in its first, and I believe down here it notes, in its first, third, and seventh seasons, it was a mid-season replacement. One of the first one was for a shortened first season. The third one was because Amy Poehler was pregnant, and then in the seventh one, it had a shortened season again for its final season. So it can be done. You can be to outlive expectations in the mid-season, but it's tough. You have to have a good show to do it. But there are a lot of shows on this list that happen to have done it, so they should be very proud. Listen, as I continue to wait for this audition to get back to me, the information about this audition, why don't you do me a favor and subscribe and check out one of our other videos? Of course, you can head to the website, cpluscomedy.com, where there are so many great things that you will be wondering, how come they don't just cast me as Puck in this A Midsummer Night's Dream? You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at cpluscomedy. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Chad Black White. Like us on Facebook. Listen to the Constitutionals podcast wherever you get your podcast. And oh my God, I got the email. It says, who in the world is the mailer Damon? Oh my gosh.